The Stuarts. Who Dares to Be Free? By Mike Walker. The story of Charles Edward Stuart.
Clementina, where are you? No, you can't. Oh, I won't. Someone, the prince needs you. Someone!
Charlotte, hurry. God, there's no time, sweetheart.
Please! Someone!
God, help us. Are you there? God, please be there. Be there.
Clementina, goddamn you! Wait, I say wait! I command you to wait!
Never, Charles, never again. I won't, I can't. Not anymore.
Down to hell! My daughter! Give me the girl!
What's her name, Charles? Call her name.
Eliabout! Bring it to the dogs! I'll stamp on you! Oh, God, please, don't leave.
Goodbye, Charles.
It wasn't always like that. Once, Charles Edward Stuart was not the dark past, but the bright future.
Henry, Duke of York, now Cardinal of the Church. I idolised him. Why would I not? He was my big brother, and he was everything a big brother should be. He rode, he played golf, he shot. Above all, he walked. Well, we walked. Miles and miles and miles.
Carlo, you don't have to take your shoes off.
I don't have to, Hen. Not today, but when I do...
When is the future King of Great Britain ever going to have to take his shoes off?
Well, when he goes to bed, for instance, or has a bath, or goes swimming,
Be
or...
sensible, Carlo.
I am. I need to be prepared.
I know they're backwards in the Highlands, but they do have shoes.
Well, some do, some don't. But here's the thing. If it comes to it, and I don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but I need to be... I'm a prince. Brought up in Italy. I've had dinner with kings, heard mass with the Pope. Don't tell anyone that, ever.
Word of honour.
I wear silk. I have diamonds on my buckles, a hairdresser and valet. Look up there. An eagle. Is it an eagle?
I think it's an eagle.
It's our bird. Scotland flies free. Hunts where he will. Hen, if I'm going to ask men to die for my cause, then I'd better be prepared to march with them and bed down with them, eat with them, fight with them, and bloody well take my shoes off to cross the river with them. All or nothing.
Is that what generals do?
Generals have armies.
But King Louis
promises everything and delivers nothing. He doesn't believe it's going to happen, Hen. Any more than His Majesty does.
But you know Dad has given his life to regain the throne.
One attempt, 30 years ago, and now he sits on Rome at the Pope's feet, sweeping up what scraps fall off the table. Doing nothing.
That's cruel and that's wrong.
Is it? Is it? I happen to know he's received a letter from London, from our friends there, advising him to ensure that no Scottish project should take place without England taking the leading role.
What?
And the King replies, His Majesty agrees with his friends in England that no project should be in which England does not have the premier voice.
Project? What project? There's a Scottish project. You're going to Scotland.
It's where we came from, Hen. It's where we'll build the future.
I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me?
Because you'd want to come too.
Of course I bloody would. If you think you're going off...
Hen, stop. If I die over there...
I'm not afraid of dying.
I know that. Only you can't afford to die. After me, there's you, but after you, there's nothing else. The Stuarts are finished. It's us or no one, brother.
It's not fair.
I don't think fair has anything to do with it. It's what we are, what we were born to do.
No. It's what you were born to do. I'm just the insurance policy.
Fine, you're right. But it's never going to happen if we sit here on our asses talking. I mean to act.
And what does the king say?
But you have to understand, Carluccio. We must be cautious.
I understand they're not going to give us our throne back. We're going to have to take it, Father.
It's been tried. I tried it in 1715. I failed.
I won't.
You can't know that. And God help me, I don't want to lose.
And your father didn't want to lose the crown and did nothing to stop them taking it. And guess what happened? They took it.
He was a good man.
Nobody is disputing the fact he was a good man. He was also supposed to be the God-anointed King of Great Britain, and so were you. King James the VIII of Scotland and the III of England. Instead, you're king of a few acres in Rome and a pension from the Pope. There's been too much talk.
I'm tired, Carluccio. I've spent my life in pursuit of the throne of Britain, and I'm no closer to it than I was in 1715. Just 30 years older.
I'm not tired. Give it to me, Papa. Let me take the weight now, and I will give you the throne.
But our English friends, they caution...
We have no English friends. They look out for themselves and themselves alone.
They say...
I am going to claim the crown of Britain for the Stuarts. And if I die, I cannot think of a finer or better cause.
Sometimes I hate that cause.
No. No, never say that, Papa. Do you remember the stories you told me? Mary, Queen of the Scots, facing the armies of England unafraid. James, so clever, so wily. Charles facing the axe, never flinching. I used to lie awake nights thinking of what I would say when I saw them in heaven, and they asked me, "What have you done, Charles Edward Stuart?" And I promised myself that when the time came, I would stand as they stood and answer bravely.
My boy. My dear, dear Carluccio.
Trust me, Majesty. All will be well. This is my time. I feel it. I know it in my heart.
But the English, won't they know you're coming? Rome is crawling with spies.
Oh, as for that, I will simply vanish.
I thought we were hunting.
That's what everyone thinks, Hen. But once we're in the brush, I'm cutting away.
Where?
Paris, and then...
God. I wish I was going with you.
Well, so do I, but I need you here. And I need you to keep hunting. Give me as long as you can before they find I've gone.
He crossed Europe secretly, with one servant, sleeping where he could, eating if there was food, going without if there was not. He dressed as a courier and carried saddlebags. In them was gold, and what was worth more, a letter from our father to Louis of France, who was going to be a vital part of the expedition. He reached Paris in 20 days, and in Paris...
I've been waiting almost 6 months!
Your Highness must understand, King Louis...
is indisposed and has been since the end of January, and it is now...
Indeed, it is July. And what a very fine
I
time...
don't care about the weather, I care about the troops. Louis promised about the ships. Louis promised about the cannon. Louis promised...
You have to understand. There is the Austrian question. There is the Spanish matter. And...
When is King Louis going to keep his promise to my father?
His Majesty has one overriding concern, sir. To maintain France as a central power in Europe. It suited that policy to support your father in the past, but now... things have changed.
Then I will go with what I have.
Well, sir, you have nothing.
Sir, I have a ship and 7 men.
You joke.
I never joke.
Well, it's not funny now.
You'll see.
All I see are 6 men standing on a hillside, freezing their arses. 1 servant at your service, and the prince of nothing much at all. Oh, the French ship clearing off as fast as the wind will take it.
See, Angus? Funny. And you should watch your tongue. We're not in Italy now.
Aye. We're deep in the shite.
Oh, come on. You're glad to be back.
I was glad to see the back of this place 20 years ago. I liked it in Italy. I even liked it in France.
Oh, don't worry, gentlemen. They will be here.
And if they're not...
There! On the hill! Look, Eel, and... How many, Angus?
Ah, I'm no dab hand at counting, you know that.
And there! I told you they'll come! They will come!
Aye, and a powerful load of them too.
He was right. And that day he raised his standard. He knew that in every Jacobite house, at every Jacobite hearth, there were loyal hearts that would beat all the faster, knowing their prince stood on Scottish soil. As he came south, more and more pinned on the white cockade and joined the ranks. By the time they reached Perth, there were near on 3,000 men under the prince's banner. And they loved him as he rode by on his fine white horse, in his tartan trews, sword held high.
What are they shouting?
Charles. Gaelic for Charles.
Well, I'll be their Prince Charlie if that's what they want.
Oh, I'd say they want it well enough.
They love me, Angus. Look at them.
Aye, they don't give their loyalty easily, but the man that has it...
I can breathe here. For the first time in my life, Angus, I am truly a free man. I can see it before me, all of it. All of it. God save the king!
Lord George Murray. I met him at Perth. It was an interesting encounter.
And General Cope is on the move. We need to counter him, and do so soon. I rather hope he does come on, since all reports tell me he is no lion. Sir?
Your Highness, sire.
Yeah, I know who you are, Lord George. Please, stand. But I don't know what you are.
What I am, sir, is a loyal subject of your father, King James III. What I could be is the best general you have.
By God, man, you're not short of confidence.
Shyness in a maid may be a virtue. In a general, it's no bloody good at all. You know my reputation.
I know it is that of a turncoat who has pledged loyalty to George of Hanover.
Aye, so I did, and I believe my reasons were good enough at the time. Now is a different time.
How do I know you'll be steady, Lord George?
Because by being here in this room today, I have burnt every bridge I ever possessed. I have put my life, my fortune, my wife and children all at risk. And to tell you the truth, I never could abide that German bastard of the bloody Whigs who kisses lardy arse. You know he's offered a reward of £30,000 for your head.
Yes. I've offered 30 for his. Can I trust you?
You can trust my heart, for that has ever been with you and your family.
One thing's for sure. To win this, we're going to need heart. And a lot of it.
Then I am Bonnie Prince Charlie's man.
And what does Bonnie Prince Charlie's man advise as to our best course of action?
Command the centre. If you've Edinburgh, you have its wealth, and volunteers for the ranks.
It's a big reach. Perth! You know the Duke of Perth?
Hello, Jimmy.
Aye. I'd not think to have seen you at this table, Murray. Under it with the dogs, maybe.
Lord George thinks Edinburgh.
Lord George thinks only of himself and his own advantage.
What do you think?
I think I command your armies and not him.
We're both for the House of Stuart, man.
Pish, man. I suppose it'll suffice. If we can take it and hold it.
Then we'll do it. And then we'll see to Johnny Cope and his army.
What do you reckon they'll fight? Could be messy up and down all those lanes.
It's quiet. Very quiet. Too quiet?
Let's see, shall we?
God save King James!
Anything?
I don't like it.
You'll like it a damn sight more than they will, Perth. I say we advance.
I say you're wrong. I say it's a trap.
I think they're crapping themselves at the thought of 4,000 hairy-arsed Highlanders loose in their town.
Aye, they're probably burying every silver spoon they've got right now.
So, we attack.
The decision's not yours to make, Murray. I'm the commander of this army. I say we throw out siege lines and wait.
Perth, the white cockade in your hat. I forgot mine this morning. May I?
Why, of course, Highness.
Thank you.
What are you about, man?
Sir, it isn't wise.
I think it's a day for a ride into town.
There could be an army there.
But I don't think there is. I think they're waiting for me, and I think that if I go to them and I promise they're safe and there will be no reprisals, no hairy-arsed Highlanders shagging their dogs and daughters, they will come to me.
All it takes is one man in a high window with a musket.
No. All it takes is one man on a horse with a white cockade.
It was a chill day with a fine mist of rain in the air. But as he went, quietly, making no hurry, looking neither to left or right, a man and a horse riding into the narrow street. By God, it was as if the sun came out and touched everything with gold.
God save the king! God save the king! God save King James! God save the king! God save...
Charles in the city. It was something to see. Looking down from a third-storey window as he rode by that day, there was something about him, a sweetness, a strength. It was a Sunday he rode down the mile, and the heart was irresistibly drawn back to that other Sabbath, Bible-storied under a hotter sun, when a man rode into his destiny.
No reprisals. Church services to proceed as usual. Oh, and, keep the men in order. Any misbehaviour, come down on it hard. These are our people.
They love you already.
Love can wait. Johnny Cope won't. He has to respond to the loss of Edinburgh, otherwise his own loss of face will be too great.
For once, I agree with Murray.
Well, if you two agree, the English will be easy.
But never say that. Cope outnumbers us 2 to 1, and he's got cavalry.
Weak in cannon, though.
Still stronger than us, and his advantage in numbers. We have to avoid a face-off. We'll harry his forces, small attacks, nips and bites.
We'd be mad to stand man to man with him, you mean?
Night attacks. Cut his supply lines, force him to retreat, and that's a victory for us.
Really?
A strategic victory.
It sounds like no victory at all to me.
We have to cut our coat according to our cloth.
For once, I agree with Jimmy.
And I agree with neither of you. Muster the army.
Men of Scotland, clansmen, comrades, I've an apology to make to you. Aye, it's true, I've let you all down badly. I can only confess my fault and pray for your forgiveness.
What the hell is he doing?
He's running mad.
The English General Cope lies a few miles away with his army. Over 4,000 of them. They outnumber us 2 to 1. And I am so sorry, lads. Because 2 to 1 is no bloody odds at all for a Highlander. You'll finish them before breakfast and be asking, "Hey, Charlie, where's the real battle? We're not got half stuck in yet."
Hey, Johnny Cope, are you walking yet? Or are your drums a-beating yet? If you were walking, I would wait to gang to the coals in the morning. Now, Johnny, be as good as your word. Come, let us try both fire and sword, and dinner for you like a frighted bird that's chased frae his nest in the morning. When Johnny Cope he heard of this, he thought it wouldn't be amiss to hear a horse in readiness if we are war in the morning. Hey, Johnny Cope, are you walking yet? Or are your drums beaten yet? If you were walking, I would wait to gang to the coals in the morning.
Will you take a dram to celebrate, Highness? The Scottish spirit.
Oh, by God, I will. To the king! God bless him.
God bless us! To His Highness, Prince Charles Edward Stuart! His Highness!
And to the Highlands and the men of the clans.
The clans! The clans!
I didn't realise, Your Highness.
Well, I have discovered that an Edinburgh drawing room is much scarier than an English army.
But they all love you, sir.
And I love my pipe, and have escaped the rout for a while.
I'm sorry, I'm disturbing you.
You are not so, ma'am. But it is a cold night. Here.
Oh, I cannot.
What? Wear the pretender's coat.
You'll be cold.
A man with a pipe is never cold. There.
Then, thank you. It was a great victory.
No, it was a small thing, but it was a start. All the way through, people have been warning me, you haven't enough of this or that or the other. You can't, you mustn't. It's madness. And they're right, it is a kind of madness. The belief that if only I give everything, throw common sense to the winds, and like a clansman in the battle, rush forwards regardless, only if I listen to the heart's call will this be done.
It will be done.
Do you truly believe that?
I believe it as I believe that God is above, and that even I, a sinner, will be saved.
Highness, they're calling for you within.
What's your name?
Clementina Walkinshaw, Highness.
Charles. Call me Charles. Now I must go.
Oh, your coat.
Keep it.
It was a farce in Tartan. General John Cope ran. Out of his army of 3,000, barely 300 got away. The rest were taken prisoner by the rebels. William, Duke of Cumberland, C&C British Army. The Tartan clown offered all the officers parole on their word they would not take up arms against him again. They said yes, he let them go. I soon knocked that out of them. You don't give your word to rebels. You hang them. My father had called me back from Flandre. He said, "Do something, Willie. This men must be stopped, Hein." And he was right. This farce needed to end before it got out of hand.
He marched out of Edinburgh with our army, flags flying, pipes and drums, and every heart in the city, every true heart in the land went with him as Charles went into England.
They tell me this is it. The border.
My father is King of Great Britain, Angus. There are no borders. But even so, it's a thing, eh? Murray?
Aye. It's a thing which is nothing at all. One step, and it's a very great thing indeed.
Are we together all day?
Give me just a moment. There's no going back after this.
Well, Highness, you're master of Scotland. Will you be master of the rest of it too?
See? See there? An eagle. This far south. It's a sign, Perth. Murray. Tell them all, it's a sign. Shall we advance?
On your command.
The army will advance!
A sign? I don't know. But I tell you what did happen as we crossed the River Esk. Every man in the army drew his sword, and once they were in England, they stopped and turned back, and looked silently and long at their own place.
God save the king! God save the Prince Regent! Let's hear it, damn you! Shout for your prince!
That's it, lads. Sound it out. Next stop, Carlisle. We'll show those English buggers Scottish dash, eh?
Open these gates! In the name of King James!
I hold this city by the authority of King George! The gates remain shut.
He doesn't look like a soldier.
They've only a small garrison.
I am the Prince Regent. I must warn you, sir, open the gates. If you do not, the consequences will be upon your head.
We are not afraid of you, sir. Or your army of wild men and savages. He doesn't like us, I'd say.
But you should be afraid, sir. You and your citizens should be very afraid. This is your last chance. Open the gates or face the consequences. Perth?
Let's hit it, boys!
Well, what do you know? They're opening the gates after all.
Shall we go?
Now, every man to remember, this is our country. There will be no misbehavior. Each laird to be responsible for his men.
Southern-looking load of buggers, though, Highness. Not exactly smilers. No, have no fear, goody.
Oh, I beg you, sir, not the child. Not my girl, please. I beg you. I beg you.
Hush now, shh, no.
Don't let them eat her, sir. Please, she's only a babe.
Nobody, goody, is going to eat anybody. Tell your friends. And tell them to tell their friends. We do not eat people. Although I can think of a fat German sausage I wouldn't mind sticking a fork in. Lord, Angus, these folk are simple.
Most folk are, Carlo. On the whole, they mostly are.
Come, gentlemen. We've been days on the march. Time for a comfortable night.
Advance! Halt! Fix bayonets! Present bayonets! Prepare to receive charge! Hold! Shoulder! Out!
Sir? Again, Major?
It's late. The men are tired, sir. Their supper...
They'll wait. Again, I say, 10, 20, 50 times until they do it without thought or fear when 1,000 savages throw themselves out of the rain and mist. Like clockwork, Major, I want them wound up tight and ready to go wherever and whenever I need them. And then we march north, and then we finish this thing.
He's coming, sir.
Berwick, Preston, Manchester, Derby now. He's coming, you can be sure of that. He wants London. That's his target. Again, Major! Again!
Advance!
They're happy.
They've been given the great English arse a damn good Scots kicking. Why wouldn't they be, sir?
Will you dance with us, Charlie? I'll dance with you all the way to London town! And then we'll dance on Fat George's grave!
Dancing's hot stuff, even on a cold evening.
A dram or two will sort that. They love you for it.
They do.
Yes.
Now, Perth! A glass of something?
We need to talk, Highness.
Well, we are talking?
About the army, the future.
London, Jimmy!
We have to go back.
What the hell do you mean?
Cumberland. He's coming north with an army.
Well, yes.
Well trained, experienced in Flanders, well supplied, and twice our numbers.
We were outnumbered by Johnny Cope.
Look, Cope was a fool. Cumberland isn't.
He's a fat German, and he's no Marlborough.
True. But he takes no chances, do you see? And that's what we are, chancers.
It stood us well so far.
It's not me alone, sir.
What does that mean?
Lord Murray, all your commanders agree?
I don't believe it. And I won't until I hear it. Now, leave me!
Well, we have to decide.
No, I have. Now, go!
I'm sorry, Highness. Good night.
God damn them, Angus. Pour me another.
Damn cowards. A lot of them.
No, give me the bottle.
Well, where is he?
He said he will be along presently.
Where is he, damn it? We need to make...
Along presently. Already told you.
Hungover, more like.
And is it any damn surprise? Surrounded by a passel of...
Enough, man! If you value your neck.
I value his.
And so do we.
And so do you what, gentlemen?
We care for your safety, sir. And for our cause.
So, we go forward to London.
It can't be done.
It can be done with my clansmen.
Half of your clansmen have already slipped away to their crofts and flocks. I agree on their day they're irresistible, but don't ask them for a year of their lives. Their minds don't take to that any more than they take to discipline or training.
Cumberland will have trained his men to withstand the charge. And he'll have artillery. We must go back and regroup. We cannot face him and win.
I say we can.
There isn't a man here who wouldn't die for the cause, but to die for no reason. On English dirt. Whilst we live, we fight.
The whole council, many of the clan chiefs, they all agree.
If necessary, I will go alone.
And you will die alone, and the cause will die with you.
That's what you don't understand, any of you. The cause, it's not a strategy, it's not a plan. It's a belief. A fire in men's hearts, a light in their eyes. It's the spring in their step, the smile on their faces, the hope in their souls. It's what men live by. And if it once becomes a rule book, a military manual, it is lost.
I am sorry, Highness.
Do you recall the words of Montrose? A general who was loyal to the Stuarts. He either fears his fate too much or his deserts are small, who dare not put it to the touch to win or lose it all.
That's poetry, not tactics.
And if it's lose, how many men will die? The decision has been taken. The army will march back to Scotland.
Cowards! Bloody, goddamn, crawling cowards! Here! Take this. At least be men and shove it into my heart here and now.
There is no choice.
Put your sword away, sir. There'll be work enough for it soon when we fight with the advantage of home ground.
Enough! As you wish, gentlemen. You'll excuse me.
And so the army came home. Oh, with flags flying and the drums and pipes. But they came home, and one man there knew they would never, ever set their feet so far south again. Folk were glad to see their men back, glad to have their prince amongst them, but after Derby, things were never quite the same again.
Advance! Halt! Fix bayonets! Present bayonets! Prepare to receive charge! Hold! Shoulder up!
Sir? Good, Major. They are good. They may take the blindfolds off.
They could do it in their sleep by now, sir.
Exactly. Better training, better equipment, better tactics, greater forces. It's not a general's job to be dashing. It is his job to do the job. And that's just what we'll do, Major, on the tartan clown and his rabble.
We'll follow him north?
We will chase him north. And we will catch him, and we will destroy him. And the job will be done.
Henry Stuart. Were they right, my brother's generals, in making him turn back? I had at last got Louis of France to move on our behalf. He promised troops and ships to sail for the south coast of England if Charles defeated Cumberland. If Charles had known that, if his generals had known it, then how full would their hearts have been? Would even Cumberland's clockwork soldiers have been able to resist the force of that charge? But we could not get word through. They never knew, and they turned back. Who knows what might have been?
We had no choice. He didn't understand, he couldn't understand. He was like a firework rocket shot into the sky, scattering trails of coloured lights, but sooner or later it must fall back to earth. There's not a general in history as won through to the end on luck, because in the end, as that bastard Cumberland knew, it's down to numbers, equipment and training. And we had none of them.
What am I supposed to do, Angus?
Lead them.
We're going backwards, don't you see?
Well, that just depends on how you look at it.
Pour me a glass, will you?
The English will be coming. They won't stop at the border.
They won't stop until...
someone stops them.
It won't be Murray or Perth. It'll be the clans. They'll do it for me.
They've given a lot already. Maybe too much.
The generals betrayed me.
Aye, they did.
I have to find the strength to...
Another?
Scottish spirit. Oh, damn it, Angus. It's like they cut my balls off. I need something. I need... Carlo!
Was it chance? I don't know, but I know I believed then it was the hand of the Lord. I was staying at my uncle's house in Bannockburn.
Bam, the prince has need of you.
What do you mean?
He's sick. He must rest, recover himself. Will you help?
Oh, this house has always been for King James. Bring him.
No, for the love of all things holy. No!
You cried out, Highness. Are you...
Where am I?
A Shawfield house. Bannockburn. You were ill. Can I call someone, or is there anything?
Some water. My throat.
I'll ask.
No, but please, if you don't mind, just some water.
But your man, Angus, is...
I know you, Mum. Do I not?
We met?
No, stop, wait, let me. I used to be well known for my powers of memory. Of course. Edinburgh, on the night we defeated Johnny Cope.
You gave me your coat. I have it still if you want it.
That's better, thank you. I was dreaming, I think. They say we have the second sight, us Stuarts. I hope to God not.
What did you see?
I saw death.
No, that's wrong. This isn't how it's going to be.
Maybe.
Your father, our king, will come back. You have to believe that, Your Highness.
In spite of everything common sense and my generals tell me. But you're right. Nothing is lost. All is to gain. Oh. I can't be tired. I must have slept for a week.
You've been very ill, Highness. They were worried.
Worried for their own skins, I should say. But you're right, I must rest.
I'll see that you're undisturbed.
Thank you. And, I remember also, I told you to call me Charles.
Sleep well, Charles. Be well.
I shall. Clementina.
As we followed him north, we came upon the garrison he left behind at Berwick. They had cannon, a few. They had arms and ammunition, a little. They had courage, a great deal. But common sense, they had none.
By order of the Commander-in-Chief, you are sentenced as rebels against His Majesty George II of Great Britain and Ireland.
Far for you fat German bastard!
He's not my bloody king!
Lord Assassinate! Goodbye!
You are sentenced to hang! Get on with it, man!
On your English king!
God save Prince Charlie!
Now!
There could be no confusion in his mind. He knew exactly what would happen to rebels. He knew exactly how outgunned and outnumbered he was. We did not start it, and he could have ended it at any time.
All dead, sir. Next batch?
He must have known that if he did not bring this pathetic farce to a close, I would.
You play well.
Oh, I play badly, but you're kind.
We were taught to be kind.
When you were...
Wandering around Europe, we were gypsies. It's been something of a thread running through our history as a family, always wandering, never settling for sure and certain. Looking across the water at what we hope to have, at what we've lost.
Nothing's lost yet.
Mary coming from France, hoping to be a queen. Old James from Scotland.
And he was a king.
And his son, King and Martyr, and his son, Wanderer, and his brother. God, we're a cursed family.
I don't believe in curses.
Then you don't know us very well.
I think I do. Charles, you are the future. You can change everything.
How old are you?
25.
We're all the same age.
I'm sorry?
Well, Cumberland, in a few weeks, me, you, we're all 25. We're young, that's what Murray and the rest of them, my father, Louis of France, the Pope, don't understand. They urged caution.
And if you had listened, would you be here now?
You are a dear woman, Clementina.
It's what I want to be for you, Charles. More than anything, to be your support. But... I know you can't, that you're a prince, that you will be king one day, that you're not free to follow your heart in certain things. You must know. Look at me, Charles. I would give everything for you.
For the cause.
For you.
You hardly know me.
I know what my heart tells me, and you cannot say that does not matter.
But you see my heart.
That's what love is, Charles. It doesn't ask, it doesn't demand, it is what it is. I love you. There. I have said it. I love you. Oh, you cannot hate me. Oh, God, help me.
Clementina, I swear to you that if I were free to be with any woman in the world now here, it would be with you. What I see in your eyes is a belief.
Yes, I believe so much.
But I am sworn to this cause.
But does that unman you?
It does not leave me a free man. Cumberland is coming. I must face him.
And I cannot be by your side.
I must face him and beat him, or die as the clans will die. There's no other honourable choice, you know that. Don't you? We three are part of something so much greater than ourselves and what we want. Our small desires. I could love you.
Just hold me, then. Give me that.
I swear that if there is a time, ever a time, then I will send for you.
No, that's all I ask.
Then play for me, so I can remember. Come.
Ready for you, sir.
Thank you, Angus. Tell them I'm coming. No, don't turn around. Just play. Goodbye.
I sat and played, and wept as I played, and I think I believed him that day as he went to risk everything for the dream of a Stuart king. I think.
News was hard to come by. He was advancing. He was retreating. He was repositioning. He was recruiting. He was bleeding men and equipment. We simply did not know.
And so we came at last to Culloden Moor, outside Inverness. A damn cheerless place to make our stand. The wrong damn place to make our stand. But he had long before stopped listening to me or to any man. What voices he heard, I know not. Maybe it was history.
Go on, Lord George.
It's the wrong ground, sir.
It's Scots ground.
It's a moor. Flat land and perfect for his artillery and cavalry.
You think so?
Everything I know tells me so. If we fall back and cross the river, there the ground is boggy and hilly, perfect for our people. We still have time to shift.
I don't intend to shift my ground.
Why?
He's not moving. They're still sitting in Inverness, warming their arses at our fireside.
Exactly! They're celebrating Cumberland's birthday. He's 25 today.
Well, happy birthday to
And by tonight, every man in his army will be rum-fuddled and full of celebration, which is when we hit them. Out of the night, Lord George. No quarter given. This time we finish it.
And if he's waiting for us?
Cousin Cumberland is too sure of his own military genius and too fond of his supper. They won't be expecting us. At 8 this evening, we march. Make sure each man has eaten...
There's no food left above a biscuit and a crust, and we've no cash to buy more.
All the more reason to finish it tonight, then. We'll join the celebrations, eh? Perth, what do you say?
Tonight we march, Highness.
Oh. And you, Lord George? We haven't always agreed, but I have always counted on your support and your loyalty. Tonight, then.
He might have done it. It would have been a fine stroke if he had. A night march. An attack in the dark. We would have been stretched, I freely admit it. For once, he was not a clown, but a general. And it didn't happen simply because they hadn't gone through it, tested it. They didn't know how rough the ground was, that it would take them all night to reach Inverness, and by then it would be dawn. A night attack, yes. But a dawn attack, after our men were roused and fed, that would have been suicide. But then, after the clans had turned and marched 20 miles back to Culloden after a night without food or sleep, so was the battle to come. It took 1 hour, 60 minutes.
The McDonalds must have place of honour on the right of the line.
I insist the Athelmen of the place of honour on the right of the line.
We'll give way to no man!
You'll give way to me a bit down!
His men to check his powder! His shot! His flints!
It's all or nothing, boys! God save King James!
God save King James!
We formed up in 2 lines, a stone wall protecting our left flank, hillocks protecting our right.
We approached to cannon shot, and when the artillery was in place, I gave the order for the cannonade to commence.
Steady, boys! Steady! Our time will come!
We had left most of our cannon behind on the retreat from Derby.
We were ordered to change to grape shot and concentrate on the mass of the Scots troops who were effectively trapped between rough ground and a walled enclosure.
Hold it! Hold back! Keep your positions! Hold steady! For the love of God! Hold steady!
It was a turkey shoot. They went down in lanes. The ground was wet with blood.
Bugger this for a game of soldiers. Clan Sutton!
They were too far away.
There's too much ground to cover.
They had one tactic, and one only. The shock of the charge.
Present! Aim! Fire! Front rank! Heel! Rear rank! Forward! Present! Aim! Fire!
No. For the love of all things holy.
It was as if the turkeys presented themselves to the butcher and clambered into the pot.
Someone must see to the prince! Take him off! Take him away from here!
Turkeys. Turkeys. Just so many turkeys.
Sir, you must go now. We must save what we can.
Oh, damn you, Murray, I will not! We can still take them. If I'm at the head of the clans, they will follow me. We'll go forward together.
There are no clans. There is no forward.
And if I cannot rule as a king, I can at least die like one.
My God, man, it would be a glorious thing.
But he did not. In the end, he listened to other voices.
You must fight on. Without you, the cause is lost. Your father could not bear it.
And he ran.
We lost 300, killed and wounded. He lost 2,000 and a throne. 1 hour, 60 minutes.
After that, nothing. For months, nothing. Oh, rumours, hints, gossip, lies and half-truths. He was here, he was taken, he was free. He was in Spain, the Netherlands, France. Somewhere in Paris.
Monsieur Thompson, I presume?
Hello, Hen!
My God, it's good to see you, Carlo.
By the skin of her bloody teeth.
You've grown up, Hen.
I could say you've grown old, but we've heard such things.
And most of them not half of the truth.
Can we get off the street?
Oh, relax, man. It's Paris. We're amongst friends here.
Still, you must be hungry, tired. Come in, come in.
Aye, and I could do with a drink.
Oh, don't worry. We've wine enough in Paris. Just as well, since we drank the Highlands clean out of whiskey.
Only thing kept us warm some nights, eh, Angus?
And a few mornings. And afternoons, too.
Well, the important thing is you're here and safe. And can find some peace and quiet.
All of Paris was agog with the prince. So noble, so handsome, so unfortunate. Why, he was perfect, and I resolved that I would have him. After all, it would annoy my pig of a husband, and as for the king, Princess Marie de Talmont. I do not, I believe, flatter myself when I say there was no one in a better position to help the poor prince than me.
Princess, how very kind of you to invite me to your box.
You enjoy the opera, Highness?
I enjoy the audience, madame, when I show myself.
Do you dare to interrupt the performance?
They can see an opera any night, but a real prince.
You care for wine?
Thank you, Princess.
Please, you must call me Marie.
But only if you call me Charles. I hope I didn't spoil the performance for you tonight.
The performance has yet to come, my prince. Your health.
And yours, Marie.
Besides, what has the audience to do with anything?
Well, I have always accounted them as rather important when they fight and die on my behalf.
Then from today, I will care also.
Thank you.
You must know, I am your friend.
I have had many friends, Marie, and many betrayals. I have learned to be careful in my choice.
In this court, that shows wisdom. You have friends here, but also enemies.
As long as the king is still my friend...
I'm sure he is.
As long as the king is still my friend, my dreams are not dead.
You will go back?
With French soldiers, Dutch mercenaries, I shall go back. The cause is alive and strong, and King James waits in Rome to cross the sea to claim his throne.
Will you crown him yourself, my brave warrior?
With my own hands, Marie.
Then come now and show me your valor.
He slipped our grip in Scotland. Well, no matter. The country was locked down, the situation stable. And besides, we never really wanted to catch him. What would we have done with the clown? Given him the dignity of a state trial and an execution? We didn't want him. The trick? Ah, the trick was to ensure that no one else wanted him either. And the method? Why, simple. Let him have his head.
Now, there you are, my prince.
You're sure he'll be here?
Oh, Charles, this is France. Protocol rules. Everything runs to the second. His Majesty will enter by that door. The music will cease. There'll be applause. He will walk 25 paces that way, pause, talk with the Duke, turn this way and pass us, at which point he will turn to me and bow, but his glance will rest upon you, which is a great honor.
Yeah, it's all right, Marie. I've been doing this all my life.
Of course. And we shall meet later, yes? When I will be able to tell you what His Majesty's Secretary of State has said to me on behalf
As usual, at 9 o'clock.
Here he comes.
After Scotland, I had the distinct impression something fundamental in him had changed. Now, of course, his experiences were such that, well, any man or woman after that would have given up the fruitless pursuit of a dream. And yet, history is full of men and women like my brother who, in the end, triumphed. And that is why we remember them.
Your wine is good, Marie.
Of course. It comes from our vineyards. My body is also accounted acceptable, Charles. Perhaps less of the one might accommodate more of the other.
No, I'm tired.
You are often tired.
But I don't spend my days sitting around on my powdered arse drinking coffee and writing twee notes to my friends.
No, you spend yours ignoring and upsetting them.
Can you blame me? When they promise things and deliver nothing.
Oh, the king is not
I want the king's ear.
Even I cannot promise that. But I can get you closer than anyone else.
Then for God's sake, do it.
Ah, Highness, please sit down.
I want to see the king.
No one sees the king. It takes time, an appointment, a slow approach. But you know that.
Oh, this is absurd. Oh, I remember you. We talked before I went to Scotland.
And here we are again. But now I am His Majesty's ear, if you like.
You offered me nothing then.
You must try and understand, Highness. The king's position...
The king may assume any position he likes, but I have only one, landing an army in England and restoring my father to his...
Yes, of course. But now, England has declared her neutrality over our war with Holland. Well, how do you say it? The king does not wish to upset the boat.
Oh, damn the boat! It's my kingdom, and I want it back!
Ah, if only we could all have what we want in this world. There would be no need for diplomats.
So His Majesty will not help me?
His Majesty is prepared to pay a most generous pension to enable you to live in the proper state to which you are...
Will there be any more needed?
What do you think?
I'll get another bottle then.
You should be careful, Carlo.
You should stop offering smart-ass advice, Henry, and offer a bit more support.
Louis wants to keep the balance. You know that.
I know he has an unemployed army and more than enough ships to mount an invasion of England.
You must see how impossible that is in these times. Well, any damn times. No one has invaded England as far back
William of Bloody Orange?
He was invited.
Oh, you think I'm not?
Not by the government, the city, and the church. Oh, and the law, too. And the army, and the navy,
Shall
and...
I pour? Oh, God help me, give it here, man. I don't know where you get your good whiskey, Angus, but thank God for it.
Spirit of Scotland, eh?
None for me, thanks.
You've got no balls, Hen. No guts. There's nothing there except advice. I piss on your advice.
You can do anything you like on it, as long as you keep it private.
That's not what Marie says. She says we need to make a noise. Not go down like sheep to slaughter.
Hasn't there been enough slaughter?
How dare you?
Look, Carlo...
Are you with me?
Of course I am.
Or are you just another creeping pensioner of kings, another hole-in-the-corner insect, a black spider in the chase?
Stop it, Carlo, please.
Oh, please! Please, please! Oh, would it please ever get in this goddamn world?
I'm going. We'll talk tomorrow.
What did talk ever get except promises and lies? A man acts, Henry! He doesn't stand and beg for crumbs, he stands and he takes what is his!
I'll see he gets to bed, sir, never you worry.
A man doesn't simper, a man shouts! Yeah!
It's not tonight that worries me, Angus. It's tomorrow. You sure about this?
Oh, Louis is a coward when it comes to it. He will always take the easy way out.
That might mean locking me up in the Bastille.
Oh, don't be absurd. You are royal blood. What kind of message would that send to the people? Be firm, make your desire known, and make it clear.
Yes, it's all right. I know what to do.
It will be better if I am not here. Meet me tonight at the opera.
And is it true that the King of France dare not offend that fat Hessian sausage, George of England? Is French power truly that weak? I don't believe it. Your Majesty, I apologize. I didn't notice you entering the room. You were so quiet. Forgive my words that they arise only from my passion to set upon the throne of Britain its lawful king, a cause I know is close to your own heart.
Word is everywhere. You spoke to Louis before he spoke to you?
I told him the truth.
Here. And?
You were right. He listened to me. He took me aside, and we talked.
He was not angry?
He was, a little set aback, I won't deny it. He said the last time someone had talked to him like that, he was in the nursery.
But the cause, my prince?
He's been on our side all the time. It's his ministers who've intercepted every communication. He assured me my father is often in his thought. Not only that, he promised help. Money for mercenaries, contacts with Jacobites in England.
French troops?
Not that, but he explained, and I understood. But he assures me any Frenchman who wishes to fight under the banner of King James III will be free to do so.
You dared all. Now, show yourself to the people.
Look at the moon, Marie. It's the same moon that shines on London.
If they can even see it through the fog and the rain.
Oh, I will see it clear over the Thames. Come, my dear. Tonight we shall... Oh! Do you know who I am?
Help us, someone!
Keep it down if you want to live, lady. Walk away. Forget you ever knew him unless you want to spend the rest of your life in the Bastille. Go!
May I sit, Highness?
I was tied. I was gagged for the love of God. Do you people have no honor? I am a prince.
A prince in a cell, which I imagine you would like to get out of one day.
You can't keep me here.
But we can, you see. We'd rather not. Drink. The Scottish whiskey is to your taste, I believe. You simply cannot, do you see, speak to His Majesty in such a fashion. You embarrass the king. Oh, I know the Princess de Talmont put you up to it, but then she has always loved to make mischief. Though she's not so keen to pay for it now. You'll have to go. Leave France. You simply cannot stay. It wouldn't do. You are an embarrassment.
I won't. I'm a prince. My father, the king, you can't make me go. My cause...
Don't you understand yet? You were a tool. One amongst many King Louis used in pursuit of his aims. Now you are no longer of any use. There is no cause. There never was, as far as we were concerned. There is only policy. You will be taken to your house to pack. You will be escorted beyond the borders of France.
But how...
You may choose where. Do not come back. Keep the flask.
Henry! Hey, we need to talk! We have to do something now! Write to father, write to the boat. Those bastards can't... Henry!
He's gone.
What the hell do you mean, Angus?
What do you think I mean gone? Not here, somewhere else. Rome, in fact. He's gone to Rome.
To speak to father? The Pope, yes! We have to put pressure on...
He knew all about it. So did your father.
What do you mean?
He knew it was going to happen. There are letters between him and your father. They agree you have to keep quiet, not raise your voice, and make a row.
And how am I supposed to get the throne back? By asking nicely? They don't give it to you, don't they understand that? You have to take it.
They know it well enough. Both of them.
What in the name of Hades do you mean? Oh, get these clothes off me, they stink of prison. They know what? Traitors to their own cause. My father has given up, hasn't he? And Hen let me down too. Lies and... How do you know about this?
Because I'm just about the only friend you've got left, Charlie.
I won't give up. I'll never give up.
Aye, there's the pity of it.
No, I'll show them. I'll do something. I'll start from nowhere. Just me and you, Angus. We'll face them down. All of them. I'll show them Prince Charles Edward Stuart is no coward, no quitter. It's always darkest just before the dawn.
They say that in later years, the Princess de Talmont used to wear a brooch depicting my brother on one side and our Lord Jesus Christ on the other. When people asked her about it, she would say of both,
It is written, my kingdom is not of this world. Ah, how true. He was so very entertaining for a season, the poor prince.
I only wish Charles had understood that. And then, like the rest of us, perhaps he could have got on with his life.
In 1750, I was in London and invited to a reception at the house of Lady Anne Primrose, a supporter of our cause.
You play very well, madam.
I did not...
We haven't been introduced. My name is Thompson.
Mr. Thompson?
Please, don't stop playing.
I didn't expect it, of course. We had heard, Mr. Thompson, of your travels.
Yes, I have become something of a wanderer.
But London, surely... At this time of year, the fogs and chills, it is far from healthy.
And yet here you are, Miss Walkinshaw.
I come from hardy stock.
As do we all. It is our nature.
And I am not married.
I find that surprising in one with so many accomplishments.
Sometime one gets spoiled by an early acquaintance.
Ah, yes. Early hopes can prevent late blooming, or perhaps hope deferred may flower all the better for time spent in adversity.
I believe that to be true, Mr. Thompson. It shows the true worth of a heart or a cause.
I see Lady Primrose calling me. There are gentlemen I have to meet.
Of course.
But I hope to see you again, Clementina.
And I, you, Charles, so very much.
Do you remember the last time we parted? I asked you to keep playing.
And here I am.
I value that consistency above all things.
The Albany, number 15. I'm staying with a friend who can be trusted also.
Until later. Lady Anne. Gentlemen, shall we?
They went together into a private room. They did not come out, and shortly the party broke up and we went to our various lodgings.
Good night, Lady Anne, and good fortune in our cause.
You should have let me order a coach.
Don't trust coaches, Angus. Not since Paris. Have you a bottle? It's been a damn dry night.
Who are you? Show yourself, damn you, or I'll split your gizzard.
Such fire! Don't worry, I have no wish to harm your master. You're quite safe. Just a few words is all I wish. Will you walk with me, Prince?
Fall back, Angus, but keep us in sight. I could kill you now.
Is your aim still as good? Your hand as steady?
You've put on weight?
A family failing.
Greed?
Humor is a great comfort in adversity. Are you not surprised we knew you were in London?
Are you going to arrest me?
Oh, good Lord, no.
You have your spies, I suppose?
As you have your supporters over here.
Tell me something.
If I can.
London. If we'd kept on at Derby, if we hadn't turned back, could we have taken the city?
Possibly, yes.
And if we had, would your father have...
The king might have been advised to be elsewhere, yes.
And if that had happened?
Oh, if that had happened... But there are so many ifs in this world.
Indulge me, Cumberland. You owe me something for the thousands of my countrymen you slaughtered and exiled.
I owe you nothing, sir, for a stupid adventure that caused the death and exile of thousands of your countrymen and mine.
Not your country.
I was born here, which is more than you can say, Carlo. Oh, but this gets us nowhere. Though, agreed, getting nowhere is a particular hobby of yours.
I would give 10 years of my life to have faced you man-to-man on the battlefield.
Time is passing. You should be off the streets by dawn in case some fool thinks of taking you for the reward. This plot, the one you are hatching with Lady Primrose and the rest of them? A lightning attack on Westminster. Conversion to the Anglican faith. Marriage to, well, who's the latest? Frederick of Prussia's girl? Or have they turned you down yet? It's moonshine. It won't happen.
Your spies again?
Your friends again?
Oh, damn you, Cumberland. They're loyal to the cause, all of them.
Just as they've always been, my prince. You must get it through your head for once and for all. It's over.
And you need to get it through your fat German head. It's never over until it's over.
Is that Scottish rhetoric or is it Scottish whiskey talking? Go back to Liège, Prince.
Go to hell, Cumberland.
Goodbye. You could have, you know.
Taken London and the throne?
No. Faced me at Culloden. If you hadn't run away.
He came to me that night. He knew I was waiting. As I'd been waiting since that first moment in Edinburgh.
Help me, Clemmy.
Are you hurt?
Oh, to the death. To the death. Oh, all of them against me. All of them. Traitors. Spies. All of our hope Sasha's alone. Alone.
No, that's not true. Not whilst I live in this world. I believe in you, Charles, and you will never be alone again.
Oh, Clemmy.
They were not traitors, Lady Primrose and the rest. They were all loyal Jacobites. If there was a traitor, it was Charles's own character. And if there was a spy, he was surely a demon summoned up by the spirits of the whiskey that had become an invaluable companion to my poor wandering brother.
A daughter was born to us in Liège. Charles was somewhere else, making plans, always making plans, which never quite came to anything.
Charlotte. Her name is Charlotte.
Highly appropriate, my dear. She will be... One day, she will be a duchess.
As long as she is loved.
My clansmen loved me. Where did that get any of us? Kings need more than love in this world, I have come to understand.
News from England?
News from England is that you're a spy reporting on my movements.
You can't believe that.
Of course not, Clemmy. They're the spies and traitors. No, I know I can trust you always to have my best interests at heart.
Then you know that if I make a suggestion, it is from love and loyalty.
Go on.
Your father. He's old. You haven't seen him for years, hardly written...
Enough! He supported Henry. He has been a traitor to his own cause. He's not worthy of the struggle. I alone must carry that weight.
He learned nothing from the failure of the London plot. For years he trudged round Europe, going to courts great and increasingly more insignificant, hoping for a marriage contract, an alliance, something, anything. He was yesterday's cause, in a world that was leaving him behind, but would not let him go without the final cruelty of a hope that never quite faded.
Good, Charlotte. Let your hands be soft. That's it. Oh, Charles, listen. Charlotte has been...
No, never mind that. Tell the girl to go.
Off you go, sweetheart. That's... What is it?
The French. I knew they'd come back. They need me. Well, of course they do, the duplicitous, traitorous bastards.
What is it?
The French foreign minister is planning an invasion of England. 100,000 men. He wants our friends to rise throughout the country at the moment of invasion.
Oh, we don't really have that many friends in England anymore.
Oh, really? And whose fault is that?
And besides, my love, can you really trust the French? Is there really any chance they will actually do...
Do not contradict me, Clementina.
I did not mean to disagree.
You only have to support me.
Of course. I will pray for your success.
I shall leave for Paris tonight.
Shall I...
Angus is taking care of it. Don't worry. Don't worry, my dear. Soon all will be well.
Soon it was just as it always had been every other time.
Nothing. Nothing. Always nothing. The French are hollow, the promises of...
What happened, Charles?
He wasn't impressed. The minister, not impressed.
Never care, sir. Here's another.
Not enough support. Not enough forces, out of touch. No guts. No balls. No honour. The French. God damn them.
You are tired. You should rest. Come and see Charlotte, and then...
Daughters.
What good are daughters? No, I need sleep.
You must go to bed.
You come too.
It's early yet, Charles.
What? You're going somewhere? Is there someone you have to report to? A man? Another man? No, tell me! I demand you tell me.
The washing. I need to see to the laundry. The maid left because we couldn't pay her wages. It's only the laundry. A woman from the town comes in and I...
Everywhere traitors and spies. No, I want you with me, Clemmy, at all times. I don't want you sneaking off. How can I sleep if you're somewhere whispering, talking?
Highness,
I really should be the King of Scotland, England and Ireland. As it is, I'm a man virtually on the run, surrounded by those I can no longer trust. No, Clemmy, no, stay with me, please, God. No, I need you, please, stay with me. Don't leave me.
Of course, my dear. Of course. And as the years went by, so love and trust and affection went by too. What are you doing?
Isn't it clear?
No, it isn't. String tied between chairs.
Hung with bells. Simple. If anybody enters the room at night and tries to approach you in bed, I will hear it. And if you decide to leave the room...
How could you...
Information is more precious than a virtuous wife. Better safe than sorry, don't you think, my dear?
How can you even think it of me?
You're no different from the rest. In the end, you'll all betray me.
I have never, and I will
Are you trying to drive me mad, the pair of you?
What?
No, you and the child, that bloody noise.
Her name is Charlotte, and she is your child too. Could you not sometimes speak to her with kind... You would not do that to a man.
Tell her to stop. Now.
Do I have your permission to leave the room?
Go. Go to the devil.
It was inevitable. I talked to the king.
He won't answer my letters, Henry. He won't see me. He says I've betrayed the cause. I am the cause. How can I?
He once told me he thought it was also a curse.
He always took things so much to heart. You, me, we plot, we plan, we trim. That's what we are. Trimmers. For Carlo, it was all or nothing. All to gain and all to lose. He was such a brave boy.
Not anymore. What can we do?
Carlo is lost. He's the past. We can only think of the child, Charlotte. She's the future now. Send word to the woman.
Clementina, where are you? No, you can't. Oh, I won't. Someone, the prince needs you. Someone! Where is she, damn you? Where is her? My wife, you goddamn idiot, my lying, bloody whore bitch of a wife. Clementina, goddamn you! Wait, I say, wait! I command you to wait!
Never, Charles, never again, I won't! I can't! Not anymore!
Damn you to hell! My daughter! Give me the girl!
What's her name, Charles? Call her name!
I'll kill you! I'll kill you both! I'll feed you to the dogs! I'll stamp you! Oh, God, Clemmy, please! Please, don't leave me!
Bye, Charles!
She's gone, Highness. Sir.
Go. Find them. Drag them back with hooks and chains. Put out their eyes. Pull out their tongues. Bring them back to me. Bring them. Oh, for God's sake, get out. Give me a drink. Give me something to drink.
Here. This'll help. This'll make it better.
The spirit of Scotland. I should have died, God help me. I should have died at Culloden.
You did. You just don't know it yet.
In The Stuarts, Who Dares to Be Free, by Mike Walker, Charles was played by Blake Ritson, Clementina by Chloe Pirrie, Henry, Luke Thompson, Lord George Murray, Alex Norton, and the Duke of Perth by James McArdle. Angus was Ben Crowe, Cumberland, Mark Edel-Hunt, the Princess de Talmont, Jane Slavin, and King James was Sam Dale. Other parts were played by David Acton, Stephen Critchlow, and members of the cast. The harpsichord was played by Peter Ringrose. The director was Sasha Yevtushenko.